They saw a black woman behind the wheel, alone, calm, no fear in her eyes. And they assumed another mouth to control, another body to command, just another nobody. But what they didn't see was a rank on her chest, the war she'd survived, the orders she gave. So when that trigger was pulled, they didn't just shoot a woman, they declared war on the wrong soldier. This is not just another story. It's a reckoning. Hit that subscribe button now, because the truth doesn't whisper. It hits like thunder. And let me know in the comments, have you ever been underestimated? The rain had stopped an hour ago, but the road still glistened like black glass. Captain Maya Ellison sat behind the wheel of her matte black SUV, still in partial uniform, boots laced high, her name tag pressed clean against her chest, and the glint of her Army insignia half covered by her jacket. She had just returned from a 9-month deployment overseas. No fanfare, no parade, just quiet. That's how she liked it. It was just after 9:20 p.m. when the red and blue lights flashed behind her. She wasn't speeding. She wasn't swerving. She wasn't even touching her phone. Still, she pulled over. Calm, calculated, trained. Her hands were on the wheel, 10 and 2, like they teach kids, like her father taught her. She heard the crunch of gravel as the officer approached from behind. No greeting, no explanation, just a flashlight in her face and a voice that sliced the quiet. License and registration. Maya blinked. Officer, may I ask what I'm being stopped for? He didn't answer. He just repeated, louder this time, license and registration. Now. She moved, slowly, deliberately, toward her glove compartment. Stop moving. His voice cracked like a whip. She froze, heart pounding. She had been trained for war, survived live fire, dealt with roadside bombs. But nothing compared to the feeling of staring down a gun in her own country. Sir, she said, her voice level, I'm reaching for my license. That's all. Don't play smart with me, he spat. You people think you can talk slick. I've seen your kind. She paused. She felt it coming. I'm active duty, sir, she added softly. U.S. Army. Just returned from Kandahar. My credentials are... The shot rang out like a thunderclap. And just like that, the night was shattered. Maya collapsed sideways against the seat. Pain ripped through her shoulder. Blood soaked her uniform. But she didn't scream. She didn't panic. She endured. Because survival is something black women learn in layers, like armor. The paramedics arrived 20 minutes later. The officer kept yelling that he feared for his life. His body cam, mysteriously unavailable. The dash cam, malfunctioned. But 2 teens in a nearby driveway had caught everything on their phones. Maya woke up 2 days later in a hospital room. For in her arm, her mother, Evelyn, by her side, holding her hand like she had when Maya was just a little girl afraid of the dark. Mama, she croaked. They shot me. Her mother didn't cry, just nodded. I know, baby. I know. They didn't even know who I was. They never do. And in that moment, Maya remembered her father's words from when she was just 10. Your uniform won't save you. Your titles won't matter. To some folks, you'll always just be a threat they don't understand. When the media caught wind of the story, headlines danced between cop mistakenly shoots female suspect and Army colonel hospitalized after traffic stop incident. But they didn't know the half of it. Maya had served her country. She'd risked her life for it, and the country almost took her life in return. But what they really didn't know was where Maya got her strength. Because this wasn't the first time a black woman in her family had been forced to swallow her pain. 1964. Montgomery, Alabama. Evelyn Johnson was only 16 the day her older brother, Isaiah, was dragged from their front porch and beaten by police. No charges, no explanation, just a cracked skull, a dislocated jaw, and the whisper of a lie. He resisted. Evelyn had sat on the steps that night, her cotton dress soaked in his blood. The smell of it never left her. And the silence that followed, it was louder than any siren. She'd learned something then. The world didn't care about the truth, only about who was strong enough to survive the lie. She never screamed, not even once. Instead, she got smarter, sharper. She took the pain and tucked it into her bones, carrying it like a second spine. She cleaned houses by day, studied at night, and eventually became the first black nurse at County General. No one clapped for her, but she didn't want claps. She wanted power, the quiet kind, the invisible kind, the kind passed down through looks, through hugs that lasted a second too long, through stories never told, just felt. So when her daughter, Maya, came home at 12 and said, "Mama, I want to join the Army," Evelyn didn't flinch. She didn't try to stop her. She just said, "Then you better be the best damn soldier they've ever seen." Not for them, for you. Evelyn had watched her daughter rise. Private, sergeant, captain, colonel. She'd stood in the back at every pinning ceremony, hands clasped, smile tight, as white officers shook her daughter's hand and called her a credit to her race. But Evelyn knew. One wrong stoplight, one wrong street, one wrong, yes, sir, mistaken for attitude. That's all it would take. And then it happened. She got the call at 10:03 p.m. "Ma'am, your daughter's been shot. She's alive, but it's serious." Evelyn didn't cry. She just packed a bag and got in the car. 2 weeks later, Maya, arm in a sling, rage buried under pain, sat across from her mother on the back porch. The sun was going down. Cicadas chirped in the distance. The world felt slow, like it always did after a storm. "Mama, I don't know what to do," Maya whispered. "They tried to kill me. They saw my skin before they saw my soul." Evelyn looked up. "Then let them see now." "See what?" Evelyn reached into an old chest and pulled out a bundle wrapped in silk. Inside was a weathered newspaper clipping. "Local team brutalized in racial attack. No charges filed." Below it, a photo of Isaiah. Swollen, barely recognizable. "Your uncle," Evelyn said quietly. "He never got justice. They broke his body, but not his spirit. And I promised that day that my child would grow up powerful." She took Maya's hand and pressed the article into it. "You survived what was meant to end you. That badge they didn't see? Show it now. Not as a victim, as a voice." And that's what Maya did. She stood at a press conference, medals pinned, scars visible, eyes steady. "I was trained to serve and protect," she said. "But even in uniform, I was still just a black woman to him. Not a citizen, not a soldier, a threat, a problem, a statistic." The video went viral. The officer was suspended. The footage from the teens became national news. But Maya didn't stop there. She started a foundation, Ellison Honor Project, advocating for justice for veterans of color, civilian or not, who face systemic violence at home. A year later, Maya walked through a school gym filled with young girls, black, brown, and bold. She looked at them the way her mother once looked at her, and she said, "You're not too loud. You're not too angry. You're not too strong. You are just enough. And don't you ever let the world tell you otherwise. Because sometimes the uniform isn't enough, but the story behind it, that's what changes everything. You never know who you're pulling over. You never know who you're trying to silence. Because some people were born with fire in their veins and ancestors whispering, 'Don't you dare back down.' If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a fire in the comments if you felt Maya's strength. And don't forget to subscribe. We tell stories that make you feel, think, and remember, because silence never saved anyone.